You know what happens if we don't stay on that path of knowing what our rights are, knowing what we believe and why we believe it? They will keep a coming. They will keep a coming with the lies. They will keep a coming with the lockdowns, and they will keep coming with far worse things. Jordan Peterson actually talked about some of those far worse things with Rita Panahi on Sky News Australia.
Do you think what we did during COVID could usher in our version of a social credit system?
Oh yes, definitely. Yeah, that's highly probable.
And that it will be accepted by many people because, again, that
they won't even
yearning
notice.
for safety.
They won't notice even. Yeah. You can't believe how much people don't know these things. When I went to the UK, I talked to some people from the House of Lords. This is within the last 6 months. The most astute of the people sitting in the House of Lords had only become aware of the woke movement in the last 18 months. Oh yes, you just can't believe how much this is not on people's radar. Not someone like you can't believe that at all because it's on your radar all the time. That's not, you live in a world that's on the cutting edge of this sort of thing. It's like people have no idea. It's like, well, why not have a digital passport? I mean, you know, how convenient. It's like, fair enough, and you can understand that. Wouldn't it be nice if we could pay for everything with our phones? It's like, wouldn't it be nice if the central government, who's woke oriented and makes carbon dioxide remediation the priority, knows exactly what you spend on everything so they can target you tax-wise with precision? It's like, oh, didn't think about that. It's like, yeah, you sure didn't. And oh yes, it's highly probable. It'll be a miracle if we escape from that. You can see these signs of this everywhere. You know, when you go through airports now, there's a lot of automated barriers. You show your passport. It's like, well, these are automated barriers. What if you can't go through them? Well, that's the situation for many people in China. It's like, what are you going to do? You're going to argue with the machine? Like, you just cannot imagine how screwed you are. It's way worse than anything Kafka ever imagined, because at least with Kafka, there was bureaucrats. Faceless though they may have been, they were at least still human. Once the machines can lock you out, you are in such trouble. And we're speeding towards that with an immense lack of care.
You see why it's important to be awake? I would say if you watch this show, you're probably an edge case on the front end of this, as he described to Rita, meaning that you are aware of some of this stuff. You probably didn't lose your mind over the couple of years, even though we were all given these horrific choices to make about going to work or being vaccinated or all these things. But we saw some of the stuff. We were willing to question some of the things, all of those things. And a certain amount of people aren't. And then a certain amount of people, as Jordan's laying out, will one day, after the digital passports are in and all of the stuff, they'll get to the airport, they'll scan their thing, and the machine will tell them, no, you can't get on that plane. You liked this video, or you did this or that, or we're freezing your bank account. So all of these tests have been running throughout the West. It just is, guys. But now Elon is exposing it, and that should give you some serious freaking oomph behind your desire to keep going.